What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here, I may as well not exist. That's why you two have been everything to me. Get it? Nahida's talking about confusing stuff. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the situation? Huh? Why are you scrapping your previous theory? Oh, yeah! You're right! So, what's your new hypothesis?
The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? It doesn't...
Just be indicating the deletion of our memory. That's why when we wake up, everyone thinks the SUBZERUZ festival hasn't happened yet. It's already the next day, but everyone still thinks it's the day before. But muscle memory can't be erased. A brilliant deduction. Nahida, tell us if we're right. To put it simply, it's as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you focused too much on your perception that... That isn't simple at all! Why don't you go talk to Miss Dia again? You might learn something new. Right! She did help us...
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia also...
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate me.
Well, you're still getting used to your new grades.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands and... wait a second! How did you know I got a new greatsword to begin with? I didn't tell anyone about it.
Traveler, could you explain the situation to... Oh, that works!
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it.
Alright then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this greatsword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased.
Then I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Oh? Why do you think that?
If we've actually been reliving the SUBZERUZ festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used? The money we spent, the food we ate? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time.
Right! They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city's resources to replenish everything. It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it is impossible. I've got proof.
You have proof?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Fine, I'll play along for a little long. Come with me, Miss Dunyarzad. Please come along as well. I still can't guarantee that this area is safe.
Hi.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy. What about it?
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces by now?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of refined control. The force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy, as well as my state of mind as I made each strike. It's just as they say. Each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman can't make the same cut twice. It would be impossible to copy these marks.
Is it really impossible? What if they use some fancy machine?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no spirit to it. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain-exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprisingly fun. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deletion theory also... But at least yep, that's true. So, can we... Strange? Paimon feels like Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really... Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this? How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about leaving... Nahida! We're back! You're back early today. Did you find something? Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time... leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned your plans to do that twice before. We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked? Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it. It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Really? That's kind of strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories. Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Our memories are back! About that... Well, Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our SUBZERUZ festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go.
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order from the Grand Sage. Just wait until tomorrow.
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at Port Ormos. If I don't hurry, they'll be stolen.
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance next time.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced a lockdown for Sumeru City today. How completely unsurprised. Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the...
Here we go again. Don't ask me. I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info, I would have left this stupid post long ago.
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything, this is a good spot. And the gut... Huh? Why? But... What if things get really weird out there and you get into some trouble? Oh, Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but... We've always been together. Okay. Paimon will wait for you. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. And please... be careful. Memories! Traveler! Paimon would never see you again! You just disappeared! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you were only taking a quick look! Paimon, calm down. She's here now. I don't think she understood what you were saying. Paimon doesn't Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay. Paimon will forgive you. Okay. Paimon, can you tell us you... I see. Using two people's different perspective. After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you... disappeared. No way! Paimon was watching you with... What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days' memories can't be awoken. So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside of the city is... But this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Give me some time and take care of Dunyarzad for me. Yep! Now we're talking! I'm done. Here you go. What? Isn't this just an Akasha terminal? I made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any node. To make something like this? Nahida, you really know... Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. I just can't guarantee the user's status and signal coverage when they're outside the city. We'll never know until we try. Let's go then. Let's Alright, okay. See? That covers everything that's happened so far. Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were outside. Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our SUBZERUZ festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty, except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru City space when you set foot out, but everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. There's another part here. I only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message... Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment. Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or from the message? The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal. After the beep, Traveler said even the final space has also disappeared. Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. My impression is that Each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha. Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just randomly disappearing like that be catastrophic?
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final... Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Do lots of new spaces appear every day? Paimon's head is spinning!
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh? Hey! Where are you going? You want some alone time to think? Alright then, Paimon won't disturb.
The dance of SUBZERUZ is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know!
You're back! I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your SUBZERUZ exam and graduate from the festival? Okay, first off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon. The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common: a lack of human presence. Those spaces remind me of dreams, like the one I had in the Avidia Forest. Except these have no sign of human presence. We've already experienced the SABZERUZ festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, and those spaces... Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all.
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people. The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate. It is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power.
Oh, okay. But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So in other words, The complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions. The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their—
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even though we removed our Akasha terminals. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared. Grand Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content. Did he mean something more? My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. We've already experienced the SUBZERUZ festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the SUBZERUZ festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the SUBZERUZ festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha. And so it continues.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine.
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals.
All right, last question. Who am I?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon... Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions a hint that we're all dreaming? Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the sage's deception of Sumeru's people?
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here. Deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable. After we end the SUBZERUZ festival samsara, we have to look into them.
How can the sages of the academia do this behind their Archon's back?
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long gone.
A sun and a moon? Oh, we're out of time today.
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow.
Good morning, Nahida. Hey, what's wrong, Nahida? You don't...
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Dunyarzad already disappear?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Paimon can't believe it.
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream, so another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going.
But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real...
Puppets are stiff, and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler. You know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you with...
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Ella's. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the SUBZERUZ festival with so many regrets.
Please don't beat yourself up or...
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon.
Don't be like that, Nahida.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but how do we...
Although the SUBZERUZ festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find that person?
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream.
Imagination?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when the server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food. Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
How are we going to find them, though? And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're, after all, like you said?
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that...
Yes. I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Paimon's still... She was such a good person. Yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole... But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Paimon's wondering. Huh. That's... So... Who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense.